I'm Liz Hermsen. I work on school meal policy for USDA's Food and Nutrition Service. Today, I'm going to discuss the Child Nutrition Program nationwide waivers in effect for the upcoming school year. I'll start with a brief introduction, followed by an overview of the key waivers available for state and local program operators this school year. Next slide. Before diving in, I'd like to thank the state and local child nutrition program operators who have committed to providing nutritious meals to children throughout the public health emergency. Across the country, program operators are working hard to connect children to healthy meals in a way that supports social distancing and protects the safety of their communities. This slide shows just a few of the many meal sites that serve children during the school closures this spring. We thank you for your amazing work. Next slide. Since the outset of the pandemic, USDA's Food and Nutrition Service has been listening to and reviewing the needs of our stakeholders during this crisis. As states have moved toward reopening, FNS has continued to provide flexibility and assistance to states, schools, and local program operators, empowering them to adapt to on-the-ground conditions and ensure children across America can continue receiving nutritious meals during this unprecedented time. Ensuring eligible kids are receiving school meals throughout the year is a priority. We believe making sure these children are accounted for by being connected to their schools is the best way to ensure this. The Families First Coronavirus Response Act, signed on March 18, 2020, allowed FNS to issue nationwide waivers to support children's access to nutritious meals during the public health emergency. Waivers issued throughout the spring and summer aided tremendous state and local efforts to provide ongoing access to nutritious meals and snacks in the early stages of the pandemic. Schools are considering many different learning models as the new school year begins. By extending several key waivers for the duration of school year 2020 to 2021, FNS is giving schools the flexibility they need to tailor their meal service operations based on local conditions. These nationwide waivers apply to the National School Lunch Program, School Breakfast Program, and Child and Adult Care Food Program, and are in effect through June 30th, 2021. These nationwide waivers provide flexibility to schools that plan to bring students back in the fall, as well as those leveraging distance learning or hybrid learning scenarios as they reopen for students. They also provide flexibility for child care providers to serve meals to children in their care. These waivers allow program operators to opt into a variety of flexibilities that best meet their needs. Next slide. First, I'll introduce two waivers that work together, the non-congregate feeding waiver and the meal service times waiver. The non-congregate feeding waiver allows the service of meals outside of a group setting, and the meal service times waiver allows meals to be served outside of traditional meal times. Together, these two waivers facilitate grab and go and other alternate meal service options. Under these waivers, state agencies may allow program operators to provide more than 1 day's worth of meals at a time, which further supports social distancing. For example, a school may distribute 2 days of meals on Monday morning, providing students with breakfast and lunch for both Monday and Tuesday. Next slide. Next is the parent and guardian pickup waiver. This waiver allows program operators to distribute meals and snacks to parents and guardians who then take the meals home to their children. For example, the school in this picture set up a school lunch drive-through where parents and guardians would pick up meals for their children, minimizing contact to support social distancing. When using this flexibility, schools must take steps to ensure meals picked up by adults go to eligible children. It's also important to prevent the distribution of duplicate meals. In other words, a parent cannot visit multiple drive-through meal sites to pick up 2 lunches for their child on the same day. Next slide. Next up is the meal pattern flexibility waiver. With state agency approval, local program operators may serve meals that do not meet the meal pattern requirements. This is different from the other waivers, which do not include a state approval process. When reviewing requests for meal pattern flexibility, state agencies should consider requests that are targeted and justified based on plans to support access to nutritious meals while minimizing potential exposure to COVID-19. FNS encourages program operators to meet the meal pattern standards to the greatest extent possible. State agencies should work in partnership with local program operators to determine if and when this waiver is necessary and offer technical assistance to help program operators to meet meal pattern requirements when they can. For example, if a school requests this flexibility based on challenges procuring fresh vegetables, the state agency might recommend that the school attempt to procure frozen or canned vegetables prior to approving this flexibility. Next slide. Separate from the meal pattern waiver, we have also issued a nationwide waiver of the offer versus serve requirements for high school. Offer versus serve is required at the high school level in the school lunch program and optional for high schools in the school breakfast program. It's also optional for elementary and middle schools in both programs. We generally encourage offer versus serve as an excellent strategy to improve student satisfaction and reduce food waste. However, using meal delivery, grab-and-go meal service, or prepackaged classroom meals makes it difficult, if not impossible, to implement offer versus serve. This waiver gives high schools the flexibility to use these service methods without needing to worry about meeting offer versus serve requirements. Next slide. Since the outset of the coronavirus outbreak, FNS has provided states with flexibilities to facilitate the continuation of meal service. Collectively, the nationwide waivers for school year 2020 to 2021 support our continued efforts to reduce barriers for local program operators and children. Our goal for this school year is to ensure that children have continued access to nutritious meals. Throughout the fall and beyond, we will work hard to respond to evolving local conditions so that state agencies, schools, and child care institutions have the support they need to continue operating the programs during these challenging times. Next slide. On the FNS COVID-19 response website, you can find all of our nationwide waivers, along with COVID-19 policy guidance, such as questions and answers documents. FNS released 2 new Q&As last week. In addition, Team Nutrition has developed many wonderful resources for state agencies and local program operators. These resources provide tips and outline considerations local program operators may want to think through when planning their meal service for the school year. You can find these resources on the Team Nutrition website. Next slide. Again, I'd like to thank the state and local child nutrition program operators. With the special challenges of recovering safely from the COVID-19 pandemic, we continue to focus on service, and empowering partners and ensuring flexibility couldn't be more urgent. USDA is here now and will be here side by side with the nation's child nutrition professionals as the situation evolves to enable local, on-the-ground solutions that make sense. We remain committed to ensuring all children have access to nutritious food this coming school year. Thank you.